So, you know how you can order that perfect latte from Starbucks every morning? Well, you can also make it at home, but it does take finding the perfect balance. If you have too much milk, it's going to be too weak. If you have too much coffee, it's going to be too strong. But once you find that perfect balance, you want to remember it always. And that balance is going to be your ratio. Today, we're going to talk about how ratios are in our everyday life, especially when it comes to finding that perfect balance. This is part one of my ratios and proportions across the grades playlist. Please check out my other videos as well. Today's objective, students will understand ratios as a way to compare two quantities. And our vocabulary word for today is ratio. It is the relationship between two or more quantities. So here I have some paper clips and binder clips. So let's see how many binder clips I have and how many paper clips I have. So I have 2, 4, 6, 7 binder clips and I have 4 paper clips, right? So we've already said that ratios represent the relationship between two quantities, and we are comparing how much there is of each. So I'm going to show you how we write out our ratios. Okay, so if I want to know, if I write out my ratio, I already know that there are 7 binder clips and 4 paper clips. I'm just going to write binder and paper because I don't want to write out the whole words. If I'm going to write it as a ratio for the amount of binders to paper clips, I would write it as 7:4. All right. If I wanted to write it a different way, we can also write it as 7 and then these little colons here to 4, or like a fraction. Both ways we read it as 7:4. So it's just like here where I had 7 binder clips and 7 paper clips, but instead of and, I use the word to. Okay? Now, the order that I read this matters because if I asked you, what is my ratio of paper clips to binder clips, that means I want to see the number of paper clips first and then the number of binder clips. All right, so that would be 4:7. The order does matter, guys. So make sure you're always putting them in the correct order. And it does not matter which way you decide to write it. They are all read the same way. So it is 7:4 for binders to paper clips, or 4:7 for paper clips to binders. That is how we represent our ratio. All right. So let's get into some real world examples. There are 3 dogs at the dog park. Each dog has 4 legs, 2 ears, and 1 tail. Create a visual representation or diagram showing the ratio of legs to ears to tails in the dog park. What is the ratio of legs to tails in the dog park? Go ahead and pause the video to answer these questions, and then come back for the answer. All right, so in our example, we know that there are 3 dogs. And each dog has 4 legs, 2 ears, and 1 tail. Now, the first step said to create a diagram or some type of visual representation. I suck at drawing, so I'm just going to use letters to represent each thing. So I'm going to use L to represent my legs, E to represent my ears, and T to represent my tails. So let me write it out. I have dog 1, dog number 2, and dog number 3. Dog number 1 has 4 legs, 2 ears, and 1 tail. Dog number 2 has the same thing. And dog number 3 also has the same thing. All right, so if I write this out, that means I have 4 to 2 to, oh, no. That is not 4 to 2, those are 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just like multiplication. 12, 6, and 3 all together. So if I want to know the ratio of legs to tails, it is going to be 12 to 3. Did everyone get that? 12 to 3. You could have written it as 12 to 3 or 12 to 3. All right. Now, for all of my advanced high achievers, those that want to go the extra mile, did anybody get a different answer? You could have gotten 4 to 1. Did anybody get that? If you didn't get it, but you're wondering how that could also be an answer, you should check out my next video because we're going to talk about equivalent ratios. All right. But if you need more practice on just the foundation of ratios, go ahead and check out the links below. All of the links are free.